Hey guys, welcome back to DJ Gers Reviews. I do have an interesting one mod to review with you guys today. It's actually from a great group of guys. It's called Switch Mods. Couldn't find a good logo for them, so I got that. Um, I met these guys up at ECC, and they're really awesome, just overall people. Um, I like the idea and their of what they wanted to do with their mods. Okay, and what I thought was really cool about it overall was they want to make authentic mods affordable for people. You know, there's vaping on a budget, and you can get basically a whole setup. Oops, a whole setup, however you want it. You can customize it. You can get uh, aluminum, brass, and copper, and they're hybrid mods. Okay, they I don't know. It's hard to explain per se why they decided to do it, but it's basically they wanted to make uh, a full competition style mod or just an overall mod that's affordable for people if they want to go into rebuilding themselves. Um, and this one I think is the aircraft grade aluminum, and to me it's not my cup of tea just for the simple fact that this one's light. I'm a copper guy. I like my copper mods, but just the fact that they have good O-rings on it for the RDA, really nice. Their post holes are really good size. They got the regular screws on them. Deep, deep juice wells. I mean, look at this. A regular screwdriver goes down pretty far. So it's a good, deep, deep juice well. The actual, it's a solid piece for the cap. So you got the chuff cap, great airflow. Let me go ahead and. The good thing is about the actual device itself. Besides, like the only way to get the battery in is down here where the button is. And if you look at these threads, they're nice and beefy. Like it's really smooth. But it's one solid piece. Okay. And it's like I said, it's a hybrid, so it's straight RDA to battery connection, and the the airflow on this, or not the airflow, the battery vent holes. Unfortunately, if your battery does vent, is there. I This thing is just overall to me a great device. I haven't even had a chance to build it yet and vape on it. I'm actually going to do that today. You guys are going to see how easy it is to build on it. Um, I will say this: the button is really nice. It's slightly recessed, so it slows down on the auto firing. It's a stiff spring in there, so you actually have to push on it for it to fire, as well as the copper-plated contacts right there. It's either copper or brass. I think it's copper though. The one thing with the RDAs I've noticed, I don't know if it's silver plated or not, but it might be silver plated. But get my screwdriver out real quick. You get a smaller one. Yeah, it's soft, so I'm thinking it's copper and then silver plated. I'll have to double check and ask them, but either way, um, it's I really like the overall simplicity of this device. Now, on hybrid mods, I said it before on one of my safety rants. Hybrid mods, you don't want to use tanks. I did just notice they made a hybrid tank. I still don't suggest it. That just seems stupid to me. it's asking for someone to get hurt. But since I only have a camera right here on my computer, I'm actually going to angle the camera down so you can watch. I'm just going to do a simple build. If I can find. That'll do. No. Let's do it with what 26 gauge I have right here. So, alrighty. We'll position my light so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'll just drop all my other mods. Great. Alrighty. It's a little bit difficult to see, but sorry. Until I get another camera, just how I'm gonna have to deal with, or how I'm gonna have to do it. But all you really need to build the coils, I know there's a bunch of other tutorials. But you can go get this that cheap set right here at Walmart. It works. It does the job. Little precision screwdrivers. Use your wire cutters. My pliers right here. Your scissors. And I'm going to be building this one with the V1 cotton bacon. And then obviously your juice when you get to that point. Oh. And your lucky, trusty home reader. Where's my camera? There it is. Alright, so, ouch. I'm using the 2.4 millimeter to actually build the coil. And this is just what I had left laying around, but depending on the size build you want to do with like how many wraps, you normally measure it, I say by inches. But I'm going to try to cut this one as close to in half as possible. And I'm going to do probably about I'll do 8 wraps on this. Give it a flavor build. And basically, you take your Kenthal that you clipped out. I know it's hard to see. It's about a maybe 6 to 7, I'll say 6-inch piece right here. You really don't need it that long, but again, this is just extra that I had laying around. You hold it right here. Here's the screwdriver part. Put the Kenthal right there next to that little flat piece right there. And then just hold on to it. Okay? And then hold on to the screwdriver as well, obviously. Take the Kenthal. Give it nice. Try to get as close as you can. Okay, right there. It may look like there's 3 wires or 3 coils. That's actually only 2. The one in the middle is a full wrap, and then you count the one on either side of any of the ones in the middle as a half. So where I started from, hold on real quick. So right here, this first one, that's a half. Then right here in the middle, that's a whole, and then right here at the end, that's another half. So that right there is that's 2 wraps so far, and I said I was going to do 8, I think it was. Yeah, we'll do 8. I'll stick to that one. Okay. There. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Oops. Yeah, when they spring back, it's okay. But once you're done, push it down like that. Like towards the little footy part. We'll just call this right here, where the screwdriver ends and then the handle begins. We'll call that the foot. Right there. So you push it against the foot. You can take your pliers, depending on the size Kenthal you're using, pinch in front of the coil, and just push nice and tight. Like that. Hold there for a second, and you'll see that it kind of closes up. That's kind of what it should look like. Nice, neat coil wrap. Okay. If you want to make sure it's nice and tight, grab closer to the bottom of the leg on the end of your coil, and just hold onto the coil itself and just pull tight. Not too tight to where it rips it out of your hand, because you want to keep them nice and neat, but it pulls it tighter to the actual diameter of the screwdriver, and just do it on both sides. Again, pull and hold. Just pull nice and tight, and then hold. And even it up. If it looks off-center like that, where one leg is up on the other end, it doesn't matter. It'll still do what you need to do. Actually, sometimes it works easier because some post holes like this one's like almost perfectly straight, but some are staggered. Either the negative post will sometimes be higher and the positive post will be lower, or vice versa. So that's depending all on the RDA on that. Once you get to that point, okay. Hold on. Whew, getting a little thirsty. Anyway, I mean that's what your coil should look like. Nice, neat, and clean. There are other things out there. If you aren't good at making coils, you know, especially that are nice and clean like that, they do have like the Coil Master, which he's a really nice guy too. They have a whole kit they're going to be coming out with. They're pre-ordering. But besides the point, I just clipped off the two parts of the legs to make them a little bit shorter. That's why I went off screen. There we are. So I just made them a little bit shorter. Where'd my screwdriver go? I'd lose my head if it was it. There it is. I'm just going to quickly do another 8 wrap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, some people when they do coils, see how sloppy that looks? I don't know if you can tell. It looks really sloppy. Now, don't get discouraged if you make a sloppy one. Like I said, the whole grab and pull, just grab and pull tight. Make it tighter around the diameter of the actual precision screwdriver. Do it on both ends, so it makes it nice and tight. The little trick I told you about grabbing the pliers, pinch it, and slide down. Look at that. Comes nice and neat. So don't ever get discouraged if you make an ugly coil. You always can make it pretty again. Okay. Now, see how the one leg's definitely longer than the other? Where'd you go? There you are. See? Got one coil that's definitely shorter than the other. I'm just clip them off, make them even, so it's easier to work with once you put them in your RDA. The only screwdriver you're going to need is a pair, for the switch mod at least, is a Phillips. And let's tighten it down. Actually, I do need that out still. Put that over. I actually have, it's actually really nifty. Little pen screwdriver. Go pick it up at Walmart or something like that. Comes in handy, so you don't strip your screws. Alright, now what I normally do, let's see if I can actually show you guys. When you actually look at the coil itself, the way that it's wrapped, okay, you see how right here you got this end kind of wrapping over the top, and this one's coming underneath the bottom and then out, okay, over the top and right under. I take the over the top one like that, and I'll put that right here in over my screwdriver like this. Hold it like that. Grab your RDA or your device, okay, and you just put the over the top in the negative, which is the negatives are these side posts, okay. These are your negatives, and this is your positive. So the part of the coil that goes underneath that when in the wrapping formation, it'll go under. Put that one in. There you go. Goes under and into your positive. So this is the one. This is the under. This is the over. And I'll explain that why I do that here in a second. Now, once you get the, premium distance away from your posts, make sure they're straight, nice and even. Sometimes you can take a precision screwdriver, actually. I'll just take this one. And then you can shove it right here in between and measure it that way. I do on certain RDAs if they have a closer gap in between the two. Right here. If they have a tighter gap in between these, then I'll try it. But this one I kind of just like slide right on through. So I'm just going to try to wing it and get it as close as I can by eye. And I think I found it. Found the sweet spot. Then you just hold onto it with your other finger. Grab your screwdriver, your Phillips. Tighten it down. Don't tighten it too much if you're using a lower gauge wire because you'll snap it right off and then you have a short. And you really don't want that, especially with a hybrid. And I'm just going to make it till it's nice and snug. See, I can kind of tug on it. It's not going to slide out. And I'm leaving this over. I'm going to bend it over towards the negative post. The positive right here. Just pull it over. Makes it easier to work with, just like that. See? See if I can show you that one. See how they both kind of go to one side, towards the negative side? It just kind of holds it there. It helps. It's a little nifty trick I figured out on my own. Alright, then you're just going to turn it around. Do the same thing. Okay. Over. Ooh. Might help if I actually bring the screw up. Sorry. Still a little bit of milling in there, but it's all good. Slide it right in. And again, try to match. This is where it comes tricky. You want to match both sides with the distance between the front of the coil closest to the posts. You want to get them as close as possible if you're building a dual coil. And I think I found the sweet spot for both. Looks about. It looks right there. Okay. Again, just tighten it till it's snug, and you'll know when you start getting to the snug spots before you break through it, especially like if you're taking your time. Now here's where it comes to the tricky part. All right. Everyone wants a pretty coil, a perfect coil. Well, before you worry about that, definitely do what I told you to do before. Just pull it over to the side. Okay. Bring that positive leg towards the negative. They're going to get clipped anyway, but what I'm about to tell you, this is why. When you push this positive post down, you don't want the positive legs from both sides of the coil overlapping, because that can create a problem. It can create shorting or something like that. So you want the leg from each coil that's going into this positive one right here. You want them, it's going to be hard to tell, which I'm sorry, but you want them to be side by side, not overlapping once they're inside this post. Okay? So then once you start tightening the screw, keep an eye out. Okay? You want to make sure they don't overlap. They want to be side by side. That's how you're going to get the best connection and the less chance of any shorting. Okay? And then again, if you have to make any last minute adjustments with the distance, go ahead. Just make sure that they're about as even as possible. You're never going to get them perfect unless you got like some mad skills. But I'm good at making coils. I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but Far from it, actually. But I don't get them. I get them close, but not perfect. And then just slowly go down until you start feeling the screws slow down, and just get them finger tight at first. Okay. You just want them snug. You don't want to rip them off. So I'm just gonna go back to them and tighten just a tad bit more. Okay. All right. And then this is it all determines on how you really want to do it. I'm going to show you how I do it now, not how I started. Just slide it in. This is where I wanted to get to, why I put the over into the negative. So when you want to make it, if you want to center your coil closer to the, I'm sorry, let me start over. That overlap piece I was telling you about, the one that goes over into the negative. Reason why I have that one here is so I can center my coil. So I can actually put the precision screwdriver, it'll catch that foot right there. And you just pull tight and you kind of scooch it over. And to get it right there smack dab center of the coil if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's not going to make any difference. Well, too much at least. Okay. And see how I brought that one in the center. I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing with this. Slide it in, lift up, and push to the center. And see how they both went from the side to close to center? And again, yes, I know this coil is ugly, but I'm going to show you why it doesn't matter. Then you want to make sure they're even. Even. And you want to make sure the spacing is about correct. Space. So this one's a little bit tighter right here, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. That's just where you pull it out a little bit and see if you can keep it straight and nice and neat. It just means on one of them that I ended up having too far. Okay, that's about right. And here comes the fun part. I have to take it off screen, but this is where you take your snips. Actually, I don't have to take it off screen. Okay. Go to the negative post, right? Get your wire snips. Get it right there smooth against your negative post, right? I don't suggest holding it like I'm doing, because these Kenthal pieces are very, very sharp. So I'm just going to bend it down so it doesn't fly and hit my screen. Okay. Clip it. Throw it away. Just be very, very careful when you come to do the positive side. You do not want to clip your actual coil. You don't want to get that. You don't want to clip that positive post that's going into the coil. You want to get the excess. You don't want to clip this one. You want to clip this one, the excess right here. And I actually will say this, working on switch mods RDA right now, it's spacious. I like how smooth everything goes. It's very, very easy. I like it so far just a tad bit better than my Dark Horses. But I'm never going to get rid of my Dark Horses. I love them to death. Awesome devices, or RDAs. Okay. And just for safety reasons, I'm going to take my flathead screwdriver. Okay. And you just double check, make sure that the excess Kenthal that you cut off isn't like sticking out too far. Okay. And I'm just going to bend the positive posts away because I don't want them accidentally snagging the coil or touching the coil by any means, besides the only contact that they both have, which is inside this positive post. So I just bent it the opposite way, away from the coil. I don't want anything tilting, so kind of perfectionist when it comes to this. I like them as straight as possible. And now here comes the fun part. Unscrew your bottom. Like that. Get a nice good battery. Pull one off the charger right here. If you don't know already and you're planning to switch over to a mechanical mod, positive side always goes up towards the RDA. So insert up, and then just put your bottom on. I love these big threads. It's so easy. This kind of goes in just like butter. Can't really hear it, but all right. Now, if you have a gap, see there's a slight gap where this piece goes, the bottom cap. It's just gonna stop. That means it's making connection with the RDA, the battery, and everything. So you want to take it off, just double check, make sure everything's smoothing. Okay. Sometimes you might have to tighten that down just a tad bit. See if I can bring mine down any. Or sorry, tighten it up. You want it to shrink, not grow. Got it down a little bit. Let's see how close I get now. Okay, I got it about as close as it's gonna go, which is fine with me. It's still, as long as it fires without getting any shortings. Like, if you'll know with a mechanical mod, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna know if you have a short. Your fire button down here is gonna get extremely fucking hot. Like, I've burnt myself before on someone else's mod. I tried it and it shorted out, and that's what happened. Or you can feel an electrical current sometimes. I did buy my wife a Stingray, and I felt it. You can feel like a slight current going up and down. So that was a little awkward. All right, now with mechanical mods, if you don't know, buttons on the bottom. That's it right there. Okay, just push down until it starts heating up. You want to definitely pulse them. You just don't want to hold it because you can actually warp the Kenthal. So you just keep pulsing it until they get nice and glowing. Let go of one and just pinch. You want to pinch them coils together. Hold it tight, not too tight, but you want to get them close together. Now, see how this messed up one, the ugly one? Watch. Get it nice and hot. And the reason why you do this is A, so the coils are prettier and nice and neat. But if you noticed, my coil was burning in different areas. It was getting hotter in sections. You don't want that. You want it to burn from the middle. Like, basically, as soon as you push the button, you want it to go from the middle out. Okay? From the middle, it's going to spread outward to get hot. Then whenever it starts to cool down, you're going to watch it go the opposite way. It's going to go that way, from out to in. Okay? That's how you know you have a perfect coil, and it heats up evenly. Okay. So I have a little bit of an issue here. Okay. I think I got that one good. Yep, inside to out. Never, ever, ever, I repeat, never, ever, ever push the button and then grab it with your pliers or touch it with any other tool. You'll melt right through your Kenthal, and that sucks because then you have to rebuild it all again. Sometimes you do have to recheck your screws, make sure they're all tight, because as soon as the Kenthal starts to get warm, they melt. Oh, not melt, let me rephrase that. They get soft from the pressure, I'm assuming. So, let's see. Alright. I think I got that ugly coil all nice and done. About as pretty as it's gonna get. Look at that. That was the ugly one. Right there. So it went from ugly to pretty. And if you did move it at all, you just take that same precision screwdriver you used to wrap it. Just insert it like this. And then you can readjust it if you have to. I don't suggest doing it because sometimes you might have to redo your coil or like reheat it. Just make sure it's still burning evenly. So we'll just test it real quick. Yep, from the middle out to the middle. Now it's time for your wicking. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the screwdrivers away. Ready? Put your mod right there. Make sure you don't push the button while you're wicking. It's basically as much as auto firing, and you'll burn your cotton. Never, ever, ever dry fire your cotton, or dry fire with your cotton. You're just gonna burn that and catch it right on fire. And trust me, it's not fun. It smells horrible. Right? You know, again, if you didn't see my thing on the cotton bacon, this stuff right here, you really don't need scissors ever. Just grab what you pinch and go. I'm gonna get about halfway on this. Roll up one end. Put it through your coil, like so. And lightly tug. You really don't want to pull too much to where it sends your stuff off, your coils off center, especially since you worked on them and spent so much time doing it. I normally spin my cotton like that, and I'll pull from one end as I'm spinning it from the other, and that kind of just helps pull it on through without screwing it up. Now I do have a lot of excess here, which unfortunately happen. You don't need to use scissors, but I'm doing it because I kind of made it too big. So now I'm going to have a small wick like that. Now, I found it a little bit better on the whole not wasting any juice. If you fluff the end a little bit, it helps it actually absorb and bring it up to your coil. It's going to be a little funky. And then you just tuck it in. Nice and neat. I'm just going to do this real quick. There we go. I see that one came out a little bit better. About halfway in the middle of the cotton. Clip off. This side I don't have to clip off as much. I'm just going to make it a little bit shorter just to match so I get an even amount of juice. Again, floof it up a little bit. Just a little bit of floofing. Shove it in there, like so. Alright, and then you're ready to juice. Scroll back up here. Welcome back, guys. Alrighty. I know this is a long one, but it's kind of a build tutorial at the same time as review for Switch mods. It works. Haven't done any build tutorials on here, so a friend of mine told me I should. Sorry about that. What you still want to use? I'm just gonna I'll grab my favorite, my cereal. The juice wells on this, if you do know what that is, are super, super deep. I almost could flood this and not have any issue. I like that. Because anytime I'm in that quick drip and go type of mood, where I just pour down the chuff cap, I have a tendency to overfill on my Dark Horse. I haven't had issues on my what you call it, my chuff or my Cloud Champ. See something real quick. Some people don't like to do it, but I like to make sure my coils are and my air holes match up. Just makes it easier on me and makes the vape a lot cooler. Fires right up. Nice, easy build. Nothing to it. Although it's the fresh cotton. Definitely tastes the cotton. But this is what I mean by a quick drip and go. You can't really see it. Just drip. And go. Definitely not a cloud build, but it works. You don't, on any 18650 battery, you want to be very careful on your builds. I got a 30 amp in here, so I do have to check it. My ohm reader. Where'd you go? You want to try to stay above for a daily vape at least. You want to try to stay above a 1. I think it was 1.2 on a 30. They have an app for it. It's called the Ohm Law Calculator. You can go on and check. It's just a simple 0.67. Kind of high, but it don't matter to me. That's basically it. I mean, as I drop it, very, very simple device. Very easy to work with. I mean, I love the juice well on it. 30 amp. I'm trying to find my 35 amp, see if it powers it up a little bit better. There's my 35. I mean, I do like hybrid mods. I haven't had an issue with my Manhattan. This is my first time firing up my Switch mod. Good flavor. Love the airflow in this. It's just it's almost like just taking a breath. Now, the one thing that I do wish they did have, there is no adjustable airflow on this. I mean, the only thing I can suggest you can do is if you turn it where through the air through the slot, you'll actually see the post. It'll tighten the draw just a little bit, as you can hear. Does make the vape a little bit warmer, but overall it's not too shabby. So that's it for Switch mods. And you can't order it. They have a lot of different colors. Okay. Um, and when I mean a lot, they have a lot of cool colors. They're all just shiny metallic. I mean, if you look at it on the light real quick, see how it's nice and metallic? Yeah. So overall, it's a good mod. For the price, I definitely would suggest it to anyone that's wanting to switch over to a mechanical mod. The only thing is you just got to be careful. Definitely read up on your, or study up, I should say, on hybrid mods compared to regular mechanical mods. If you want to know the difference, real quick, this is my regular Manhattan. Gotta take my tank off real quick. You know what? I got one. I don't need to do that. This is my King mod actually. See how there's a little pin right there? That means that there's no straight battery to RDA connection. It goes to that pin. This is another hybrid mod. So there's no pin. That goes straight from battery to RDA, just like the Switch mod. So definitely do your studying and make sure you're building, safely, ohm-wise. You don't want to build too low and vent your batteries or blow your hand up. Nothing like that. So check out their website. I think their Facebook is down right now, but if I will post it anyway, just in case they do fix it. And subscribe and share. And like I always say, guys, vape on.